All right, let's jump right in. We hear the term the cloud all the time, right? It's everywhere. It's how we work, how we watch movies, pretty much how we live our digital lives. But what is it really? Well, today we're going to break it all down and demystify it once and for all. I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. You're using it right now, checking your email, collaborating with your team on Slack, streaming your favorite show tonight. It just works. It feels invisible, almost like magic. But behind that magic curtain, there's a whole world of very real, very structured technology. So let's pull that curtain back, shall we?
So, to get our heads around all this, we're going to use a super simple analogy. Choosing a cloud service, it's a whole lot like deciding where and how you're going to live. Stick with me on this one.
So here's the deal. Your first big decision in this new digital neighborhood isn't about, what color to paint the walls. It's way more fundamental. It's the big one. Are you going to build your house from the ground up, or are you going to rent something that's already built? This simple question is the absolute core of the main cloud service models. Okay, first up, we've got IaaS. That stands for Infrastructure as a Service. This is the bedrock, the most foundational layer you can get. With IaaS, you're basically renting the raw ingredients of computing. We're talking servers, storage, networking, from a big provider like Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure. Now, the huge plus here? You get total maximum flexibility, complete control. You can build whatever you want exactly how you want it. What? That freedom comes with a price. You're on the hook for a lot more work. You've got a way higher operational burden, and you're the one responsible for locking the doors and securing the place. And this is where our homeowner analogy really clicks. Think of IaaS like this. You're renting a plot of land. And hey, the electricity and water are already hooked up. Great. But the house itself, the foundation, the walls, the roof, the plumbing, yeah, that's all on you. You're the builder. Okay, let's move one level up to PaaS, or Platform as a Service. With PaaS, you're not just renting the land anymore. The provider gives you a whole platform to build on top of. They handle the servers, the storage, and the operating system. You don't have to worry about any of that underlying stuff. So why would you do this? Well, check out that first pro. You can get stuff built way faster. Your team can just focus on writing code and creating an amazing application instead of managing servers. The trade-off? You give up some of that deep-level control, and you might get a little locked in to that specific provider's way of doing things. Back to our analogy. PaaS is like renting a brand new but totally unfurnished house. The structure's solid, the electricity works, it's all done for you. You get to be the interior designer, move in, decorate, hang pictures, and bring in all your own furniture. But you can't just decide to knock down a wall, The foundation is set. And finally, we get to SaaS, Software as a Service. Now, this is the one you probably use every single day. These are the finished, ready-to-use applications you get to over the internet. We're talking about Google Workspace, Salesforce, Zoom. The provider literally manages everything, the whole shebang. The upside here is pretty obvious, right? It's just easy. You have basically zero work to do on the back end, and you can hit the ground running immediately. The con, of course, is you have the least control. You get the features they give you, when they decide to give them to you, and you can't really change much. And our final analogy just seals the deal. SaaS is like renting a fully furnished hotel room. Everything, and I mean everything, is taken care of. The bed's made, the Wi-Fi works, there's even a cleaning service. You just show up with your suitcase. It's super convenient, but you can't exactly start renovating the bathroom, can you? Okay, now check this out, because this visual really ties it all together. Look at the far left where it says on-site. It's all blue. That means you manage everything. Now watch what happens as we go from left to right. With as, boom, the provider, in red, takes over the bottom layers. Move to PaaS, and they take on even more. By the time you get to SaaS, it's almost all red. So what's the big takeaway here? It's simple. The choice between IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS is really just a question of how much responsibility you want to keep versus how much you want to hand over to the provider. All right, so we figured out the type of house we want, right? Whether we're building it from scratch or just renting it fully furnished. Now it's time to choose the neighborhood. And in the cloud world, this is what we call the deployment model. First up, you've got the public cloud. The best way to think about this is like a massive, bustling apartment building right in the middle of the city. It's owned by a huge company like Amazon or Google. You rent your own apartment, but you're sharing the building's main resources, like the power and water, with all the other tenants. It's super cost effective and it scales up easily, but it is a shared space.
Now, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you have the private cloud. This is no city apartment building. Oh no. This is your own private, gated estate out in the country. All the resources, every last bit, are dedicated only to you. This gives you maximum security and total control. But just like a real private estate, it's going to cost you more, and it's a lot more work to maintain.
And then you've got the hybrid cloud, which tries to give you the best of both worlds. Imagine this. You own that secure private house for all your super sensitive stuff, your core operations. But you also rent a flexible apartment in the public cloud for other tasks, or for those times when you get a sudden rush of visitors and need more space, fast. The two are connected, giving you this awesome mix of rock-solid security and on-demand flexibility. So we've got the service models, that's the type of house, and we've got the deployment models, that's the neighborhood. Now for the really important question. How in the world do you choose the right combination for what you actually need to do? Well, this little chart makes it pretty simple. Just look at what you need. Do you absolutely need full control over the deep infrastructure? Then your eyes go straight to IaaS. Are you a developer who just needs to build an app as fast as humanly possible? PaaS is going to be your sweet spot. And if you just need a tool that works, like, right now, well, SaaS is the no-brainer.
And we can do the exact same thing for picking our neighborhood. Is cost your number one absolute top priority? The public cloud is probably where you're looking. But if you're in a field like banking or government where you need total control over security, well, a private cloud is pretty much non-negotiable. See how the use case kind of makes the decision for you? Phew, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's take a breath, zoom out, and lock in the absolute key takeaways you need to remember from all of this. But first, before we get to the summary, let's just take a second to appreciate why this even matters. Look at this number. The global cloud market is expected to be worth over $2.3 trillion by 2032. Understanding this stuff isn't just a nerdy tech exercise. It's about understanding one of the biggest economic forces shaping our world today. Okay, so if you walk away with anything, make it these four things. First, these service models are layered, like a cake. SaaS on top, running on a PaaS platform, which itself runs on IaaS infrastructure. Second, don't mix up the two big ideas. Deployment is where it lives, the neighborhood. The service model is what you manage, the house. Third, always start with your strategy. Don't pick the tech because it's cool. Pick the right combo that actually solves your problem. And finally, remember this. Every single one of these choices is a trade-off. You are always balancing cost, control, and security. So there you have it. We've just walked through the blueprints of this entire digital world. From the empty plots of land to the moving-ready hotel suites, and from the crowded city blocks to the private country estates. We've put the plans right in your hands. So the only question left is, now that you know the options, what would you build? And where would you choose to build it?